For about 13 years, I genuinely believed that if I just worked harder or pushed longer, stayed disciplined enough, everything would eventually feel easier. Instead, I slowly burned out without even realizing that was happening. At the time, I didn't even call it burnout. I thought I was being responsible. I thought I was being driven. I thought I was doing what capable people do. Today, I want to share a little bit of my story, but more importantly, I want to share the signs that I missed so maybe you'll see them earlier in your own life. Because honestly, burnout does not just show up suddenly, it creeps in and takes over while you're doing everything right. If you're new here, welcome in or welcome back. I'm Kay, a wife, mom to two, accountability coach, and a photographer. And I started my soft season on YouTube to share my healing journey from burnout. So I'm glad you're here. Let's get right into it. So I wasn't just working hard. I was wearing a ton of different hats at the same time. I was building a photography business, taking on new clients, trying to grow the business, as well as trying to stay relevant in a world where social media was just becoming a huge thing. But I was also becoming a wife and then a mother and trying to be a good friend, daughter, sister. Sometimes I think I told myself that juggling all of this meant I was doing life right. We had weddings booked, our numbers were good, and my own family was growing. On paper, everything looked right. It was correct. It was good. But what I didn't notice in that time was how often I prioritized everybody else and my work over true rest. I would stay up late, finishing client work and editing, writing blog posts, drafting the next Instagram story or something to put in my feed. And my brain never really shut off because there was always something else to be done. I could never get ahead enough of an algorithm, a trend, or an expectation. There was literally always another email, another DM, another message to respond to, or another post to write. Even my personal messages, like my texts from friends, would get buried among other tasks and priorities that I had to do. These are friends I cared about, and their messages sat unanswered for a day or two, and it became normal for them to know that I wouldn't respond right away. It's not that I didn't care, that I had trained myself to believe that my work deserved my best energy, but that I didn't deserve that. Looking back now, that was a huge sign, a red flag that I ignored. But at the time, it felt completely normal. If you've ever owned a business, you know that's what it felt like to be a real business owner. Now, nothing dramatic happened all at once. I didn't collapse one day or suddenly have a breakdown. I just slowly over time realized that I didn't feel like myself at all. And I didn't realize that what I was really doing was ignoring obvious signs that my nervous system, my body, and my life were overwhelmed. Looking back now, those were signs of burnout before I even used the word burnout. I wish I had listened earlier when the signs were quieter. So here are 5 signs that I wish I paid attention to sooner because it would have helped me not have such a long healing journey that I am now on. And hopefully you can pay attention and they can help you notice if you're headed down the same path and something needs to change. So sign number 1, real rest stopped restoring me. It wasn't restorative when I took time off or when I slept in or when I used a weekend that I wasn't shooting a wedding to do nothing. Sleeping didn't help. Taking time off didn't reset me. I came back feeling just as depleted. Resting stopped feeling like recovery. It started feeling more like a pause before pushing hard again, and my brain never actually slowed down in those moments. It was always planning an Instagram feed or looking at my computer and feeling heavy and weighed down by client work that was waiting for editing. The second sign was that everything felt urgent or important, even when it truly wasn't. I was living in a constant low state of pressure, like I was always behind, even when I wasn't, wondering if I was missing a new event to attend, or feeling like a deadline was looming, even though I had 2 weeks left until it came. For me, there was no real off switch, and even quiet moments felt uncomfortable because I had so much mental noise. Sign number three was that I felt productive, but joyless. I was being productive, I was doing things, I was checking off my list, but I was not enjoying my life. I checked my boxes, I did all the right things, but nothing felt satisfying anymore. Even playing with my 6 month old felt like a task that I had to optimize. Was she playing with the correct developmental toys? Was she getting enough tummy time? I was truly functioning, not flourishing, not enjoying. Sign number four, my body started whispering to me and I ignored it. Fatigue, tension, brain fog, depression, everything made me feel run down. Instead of listening, I just explained it away. I told myself I needed to be more disciplined. Maybe I needed to work out more. Maybe I needed to take a sleep supplement. I should be more grateful because I'm a business owner doing what I love. I told myself this is just a part of life, a part of growing up and being an adult. There's nothing wrong. You're just an adult now with a business and babies. My body was trying to communicate to me. I was overriding and ignoring it. And sign number five, the biggest sign, I believed that slowing down meant failure. I got to a point where I truly believed if I slowed down, it would be because I was lazy or weak or failing. If I slowed down, everything would crash and burn around me, right? Maybe not giving my all to something would mean I was a fraud or I didn't care enough. But this preparedness had become pressure that was just an underlying thread in my life. Productivity had become my identity, and in that, I lost my true identity. So by the time I finally slowed down, it wasn't a choice, it was a necessity. My body forced me to slow. My mental health suffered. My life was a blur I could hardly focus on, let alone enjoy. And I wish I had listened sooner when the signs were quieter. They got so loud, I couldn't ignore them anymore. Because burnout doesn't arrive quickly, it arrives slowly, politely. It comes in disguised as dedication. If any of these signs sound familiar to you, this is not a diagnosis. This is not even a warning. This is just an invitation to listen to yourself sooner than I did, to save yourself a little bit of grief by tuning in and becoming aware. You don't have to disappear like I did when I hit burnout and retreated into a cave. You don't have to burn your life down around you and close all your businesses and take a step back fully from social media and life, just to slow down and find a softer way forward. And truly, if you clicked on this video and made it all the way to now, you're already on the path towards awareness. And that, my friends, matters more than you think.